I'd like to call to order the City of Laredo Fine Arts and Culture Commission meeting for the month of July. Today is July 18, 2024. And I would like to begin by doing the Pledge of Allegiance. If you're all ready, let me know, and we'll cut forward.
Ready.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of
America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Angie, will you do us please call roll call?
Yes. Armando Lopez,
Present.
Melissa Amici,
Present.
Dr. Martha Villarreal,
Present.
Gail Rodriguez, absent, David Vasquez,
Present.
Maritza Bautista,
Present.
Dr. Colin Campbell, he hasn't taken his oath yet. City Secretary advised me that they haven't been able to get a hold of him. So they've been trying to
I'll
call
get a
him
hold
to
of
set
him
an
tonight.
appointment.
I'll get a hold.
Okay.
All right.
We have a
Thank you. Have any citizens signed up for citizens' comments?
No.
Okay. Proceed to item number, I guess we'll just do it. We just keep on going in order for right now until we skip to the action item. We started early, so. Are there any communications and announcements that need to be made at this time that the commission needs to hear?
None.
Okay. There being none, okay. Before you and send in the packet were the minutes of the last meeting that we were able to have a forum on, which was on May 16, 2024. Has everybody had a chance to review those?
Yes.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved. I second.
All right. I can't see who did that, so somebody just write that down.
Yes.
There's been a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any against? All right, motion carries. All right, let me move, just in case I have to leave to the show, let's go to the three items for discussion. There's a Molcajete sculpture proposal. Who's presenting that?
I guess I can.
Okay,
This is actually a follow-up to a project that was proposed to the commission before I was on it. But the artist that proposed this, Luis Guerra, that proposed the project, will be exhibiting with the center, a retrospective in December. And he brought this, through our communications, he brought this project up again. And so I wanted to bring it forward to you guys, see where did the conversation left off, what do you want to do moving forward. I know at the center, we're also kind of interested, we're very interested because one of our fountains is completely destroyed. And we were doing a walkthrough with the city the other day, kind of surveying different issues there. And one of the other problems that we have turning on the fountains is that it becomes an attractive nuisance for, people around there. So from the Laredo Center for the Arts side, we are looking to find an alternative solution. I know when we spoke with the city, as far as putting something in that area, but we need to find out, are those fountains historic? And what era is the city planning to keep, what area, how far back are we going as far as the historic area, at least for the Arts and Entertainment District. So a couple of those things, but I did, if anybody, I think, Dr. Betty, I think you were on the commission when we, so what was the conversation then, or what was?
I was, but I wasn't present. He was, as a matter of fact, originally it was going to be placed at Vidal and Trevino School of Communication and Fine Arts. We didn't get the funding, but we kept pushing to see who in Laredo would be interested. Originally, we talked about that area coming from Nuevo Laredo, that
The 4 blocks.
3 blocks, whatever, but then we discussed it, but nothing came out of it, just, it was a discussion. Now, I
so
don't know.
do we have a written proposal from him?
Yes,
Yes,
it's in the packet,
Okay.
and it's an
And do we have a funding source?
Well, we have funds available in our budget, but I think what I wanted to find out is what this commission wanted to do with that moving forward, and do we present to the city as a possible public art sculpture, and we can work now, like I said, from the Center for the Arts point of view perspective, you know, we're looking to see, can we do it there, if it's where you guys wanna do it? And kind of what that would all entail, but I just wanted to really bring the discussion back, because, there's interest, there's renewed interest, and now there's actually would serve a need, and the center is a city, you know, public, city property. So, I feel like it could check a lot of boxes, but, you know,
We talked about it, but nothing.
I don't think there was any funding in place also at
Right,
that
and
time.
we really didn't discuss where, we talked about different places, but, now is a good time to, I mean, especially if there is money, certainly, we need to move forward.
Yeah, I
So-
was, sorry, I was gonna say it would be good if we could get like a proposal from the artist. I mean, first.
Before he does that, well, this is kind of an informal proposal.
Right.
I don't know if you remember that I did tell you that the Up Art Studio is working on a standard operating procedure for just such things. And they're gonna be having standards for sculptures, murals, paintings, any kind of public art.
when,
I have the draft here, I cannot share it with you, but, looking at it, she does have a step-by-step, like for murals, what kind of paint, what kind of prep work, all that, and there's an application that the artist needs to fill out. We did meet in July 3rd with the Assistant City Manager Joe Valdez and the engineer to go over, to find out exactly what deliverables they wanted from Up Art Studio. As far as the funding, that's something that's yet to be determined, but if an artist wants to propose an art piece of work in, somewhere in the city property, which is the Center for the Arts, they'd have to follow these procedures. So, I mean, she has it almost done, she just needs to submit it for final approval. And the same applies for the electrical boxes, she has a section in here for electrical boxes, paint, all the different safety and all that needs to be considered.
So, the proposal is to replace the fountain?
well, kind of, not necessarily, but it would work that way right now, because the one fountain is completely broken. I don't know if you've been by there
Yes.
recently, so,
Mhm.
they were looking, the city officials that were out there, so they were really looking to cap it. We said, well, if you're gonna cap it,
Yeah.
maybe we can build a platform, and that's our entrance, right? So we have a plan at the center to start a sculpture garden in front of our, facility. So it would kind of help in that regard, and it's not such an eyesore, and, you know, and.
Right.
So does this mean that all projects are on hold until they finish this? Was it the city that hired Up with Art to
To do, this was an extension of the original, public art master plan that she did,
Okay,
so that she could work on that.
okay, so
Okay.
this is a piece of that she needs to
Mhm.
complete.
Yes, and I'd like to, I mean, I can't share it because it's not official yet, but once it is, I will bring you a copy of it.
I would just say, I would just caution, not that I'm like opposed to like getting the fountains either functioning, right, or, you know, fixed altogether, or replaced, but I would say that area right now is going through so much like renovation, especially because right across the street you've got Bethany.
Right.
And then, you know, Plaza, if we're watching the news last night, so it looks like they're finally gonna go to proposal, right, go to bid. I would say we should sort of just wait to see what happens with that area, so that way if this is in fact the sculpture, would complement that area, or even work into somehow what the city is planning to do with that area, because it's still a city-owned building, correct?
Correct.
So to see if the city even has plans, or
Well,
get
it's this-
Miriam,
yeah,
maybe
it's-
maybe we set up a meeting and see what those plans look like. What does this master plan look like for this particular area? Because I know that there's so much happening, especially also because the TERS also is gonna factor into this piece here, because you've got now the vertical parking, which
Right.
that's one of the areas they're
Around
looking
that.
at for
Right.
vertical parking. So there's like so many different
Mm-hmm.
moving parts that I would just say, like, this is a great idea. Let's do something about the fountains, but like let's
Okay, and then-
let's get with the city and see where they're at with not only their SOP,
Mhm.
but also with the master plan for that area.
Sure, we can get with, and I'll get, as a center, get with the city, because we do have a 10-year lease there with them, and they are aware of our plans for this expansion on these pieces of it, so, I can do that from the center's perspective, you know, and see moving forward. But just to remind the commission, this is something that has been worked on for how many years?
Oh
5?
my God, at least.
So, you
But
know.
I agree, the center does need, I mean, I spent a lot of time in downtown, and so, yeah, the center does need something, because it's just, yeah, there's an accumulation of people right now, and it just needs some vibrancy, right?
Yep, we're very aware, we're very aware, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that would help out tremendously.
Mhm.
I have a question. The pieces that are outside of the center right now, are they done by him too?
No,
Oh, okay.
that was some other artist from a long time ago, like 20 or 25 years ago, I don't think they're Luis Guerra's pieces.
Oh, the only
no.
reason why I'm asking is because it says that the material of this sculpture would be like the molcajetes, and I was like, is that the same material as those?
I don't think so, because I think it's a little different. I think what's out there is like some sort of, what, maybe.
May I share something?
Mhm.
Luis, had told us that he's getting the actual material that was used, but it's in Mexico somewhere, high in the mountains somewhere. It
This-
took a while to find it, but he located the material needed, and it's really, he's trying to keep it very,
Authentic.
traditional, yes.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason why I asked about a budget, because it doesn't mention a number here, and I imagine that something like that would be very expensive.
He did submit a budget, and it was like $60,000 or something, because the original budget that he had given the commission was 40.
This is what I printed out. If it-
I haven't
so-
looked at what you printed out, but I know what he said had, I haven't looked at
I
all
think
of
he
that.
said it
This
was
is
volcanic.
Yeah, that's because he's
That's
doing
okay.
it out of the same material as a molcajetes,
Yeah.
out of the traditional molcajete,
He has a number on there.
and also with red Texas sandstone.
Hold on a second. So anyway, that was just, I wanted to follow up with him on that and put it back on the table, so we can continue that way, and I'll continue working with the city. They're looking at fixing the tile in front, which of their responsibilities are windows, the roof, and then they saw the state of the fountains. I think now they realize it's something that they need to move on quickly.
Can we put that then, can we put that then as an action item for this particular action item? To get with the city or set up a meeting with the city?
You have it as a discussion and possible act,
Yeah.
so you can make that motion to,
Can I make that motion then? Cause I would love to see something happen there.
Is there a second to that motion?
I second that motion.
so get together with the city.
Something.
So the motion would be, get with, Miriam.
For the
Castillo.
commission to designate a subcommittee to meet with the city, to consider this proposal and to inspect the funding source and then the logistics of it being done.
And the plan for the,
Yeah, in tandem with the master planning of the area.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's pretty well set out. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thanks, guys.
Item B is the electric boxes park project. What action is, I know it's gonna be discussion, but is there any action that's being requested at this time?
I think the last time we discussed it, we were still trying to decide which electrical boxes we were gonna design.
yes, and I know that city council asked about the paint and all that, and that's included in the SOP. And she says that guidance is coming soon, so I'm hoping that by next meeting, we'll have that
That's good,
information.
that's good.
Also,
Is there a motion to table until next meeting?
I'll motion.
yeah, I'll second it.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Scheduling of the next meeting for next week, next month?
I have August 15th.
Yeah, that works for me. If there's nobody has a conflict with that, can I hear a motion to schedule the next meeting for August 15th?
I so move.
Second.
Okay. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, let's move back up to updates on current, art projects.
In let's see.
The first one is the Lafayette Public Art Project.
Yes, and this was a request by Mr. Vasquez to get an update. The project is done. You have in your packet the final report that she will be giving to city council, to the city, of all that was done. There is an item on the agenda Monday for the final payoff. And if you do have any questions, she wasn't able to join us today, she's on vacation. She can, you can let me know the questions and she'll be able to answer them.
So, I went to the
Ribbon cutting?
ribbon cutting, was a very well attended event. And the art looks incredible. If you haven't been out there, it really looks, I love how they listed all the neighborhoods. It really struck a chord with me because, you know, obviously I grew up in Siete Nuevo, and so I saw that it was there, the cathedral, really beautiful. The only thing that I was wondering was the lighting under the bridge, and if that's something we could discuss for maybe an addition, or it wasn't included in the proposal.
It was not included. I know that she did get some quotes from some company, but again, it comes down to funding. It was pretty pricey. It was over 200, depending on which company bid on it. But they are pretty pricey, and that's something that's to be determined by the city if they want that.
Okay. So is that something that we could request as a committee from the city?
That's a commission.
But, well,
I guess what it would involve would be a budget amendment to include, a lighting of the area, correct? They would need to do a budget amendment?
Well, lighting underneath the bridge
The bridge,
specifically.
yes, that would probably have to go out for bid, not an amendment to the contract with Up Art Studio, because it's more than, I think, the 25% of the contract itself. That would be something that has to be requested again by the city council member, or?
but that project wasn't funded through funds through the commission.
No, that was,
That's a separate-
that
that's a
was
separate
priority
project.
funding from
Yeah.
District 8.
Right, so then are our funds available for lighting, or is it just for art?
I would have to find out. There's still a lot of questions as to, we need to get with city leadership to see what the money can be used for.
I have another question about Up With Art and their, I wasn't part, again, of the commission when that project was approved.
Which one, the Lafayette or the?
No, which is the last one that they just did? Which is the one that they did that Gail said that she was part of the subcommittee. Where so you guys, the contract did go through some commission people with this Up With Art? Because Gail said they made a recommendation, part of the subcommittee made a recommendation that
They
Up With Art.
requested that some of the commission members be part of the committee that
Right.
selected the art.
Right, and that also kind of was, my question is this, Gail said the commission had put forth the recommendation to approve this group, but that there was a caveat there that they wanted to make sure that there was workshops, and I remember having a video conversation with them about workshops for our local artists, so that they would be qualified or have some sort of training to not preclude them from participating again in a project like this. Did that happen?
I don't believe so. When I asked her the question, I guess it was the workshops to work on this particular project, Lafayette. But the SOP does have in there a section for them to host these kinds of workshops.
So as far as I know, because I was a part of the committee, is that they didn't do a public workshop, but they did train the Laredo artists that were hired for the project, because it was like a certain type of equipment and paint and all that.
It was
And I know that
complicated.
at the beginning they were gonna train them, so technically Alexandra Barron and Gil Rocha have that
Yeah.
capacity now or have that skill.
So there's, but just those two, it wasn't
Yeah,
something that
'cause
they
they were the
opened
only
up
ones
to more,
selected, yeah.
to the other
From letters.
players. I just wanted to kind of, because I know Gail was, Gail and I had conversations about that, and
Mhm.
I don't think that's what she had in mind when they
Mhm.
moved this project forward. Just looking out for our local artists, guys, you know, I'm just really here to advocate for the local artists, and when outside groups come in, the more of our local people that we can do, the less money we have to keep funneling out, and that's where I'm coming from with it, so I just wanted to kind of
Yeah.
ask that, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know, I mean, I think it would be good to ask like the local artists that went through that, or like maybe they can do a workshop. You know, maybe there's a way where we can, I don't know, because I do agree, I think it's very important for our local artists to get opportunities to get these type of, you know, to increase their skill level, so maybe we can just ask them.
I just don't know if the equipment was available, it, you know, it was about using, you know, the opportunity that was here for them. That
Well,
was-
I think that's a great idea. Is there a way we can find out? Could we use some of the funds to host a workshop if
I
we
don't
approach the
think so.
current artist?
Not the CIP, the funding that is there right now.
Okay.
I don't think it can be used for that.
But I think we can maybe go to city council for something like that,
Mhm.
where we can request
But
that
was
as a
it
commission.
was it billed in the was the workshop billed in what is being currently billed to the project?
The Lafayette or?
Yes.
I wanna say
I
it's
don't know if
something.
it was, but they did hold workshops, it does say there.
Well, they
Yeah.
called them, yeah,
Workshops, but it's a-
yeah, I think that we would have to define what we define as workshop.
Mhm.
Oh,
We have
yeah.
to- We have to be clear
'Cause
about what we
this-
call a workshop.
Yeah, this was more like a community engagement project.
I saw one of those, and I'm like, no, that's not
Mhm.
what the intention was, and I think that had been clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it maybe was a missed opportunity for some other artists that could have benefited from that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still, baby steps, right?
Yeah, but I do think that we can maybe just go to city council and say that now that these opportunities are coming up, can we get like another funding source to be able to offer these workshops?
Yeah.
Because it is really important.
Well, and kind of to dovetail on that, is that with the TERS mural project,
Right.
it's what's happening with us right now. You know, Marita and I were on the subcommittee with Gail and we see the need in our community. That's why I'd asked for this TERS mural project to be put on the agenda, to let you guys know that we met multiple times, Gail, Marita and I, with members of the TERS and as groups. And I really enjoyed the process because it really gave me a sense of where some of these artists are. And it makes sense of why some of these projects that we have to outsource. But I do believe we can change that. And I know Marita and Gail all agreed. So next Thursday, the 25th at 11:30, Miriam Castillo, and the Economic Development Department Director, we're having the 5 muralists that we've selected. Gonna meet at the center, gonna go over the application process, we're gonna go over kind of how this all needs to be done, because several applicants, it was clear they needed more guidance in that, but also looking at the paint and looking at, okay, they submitted an idea, and then it's just like, okay, this is great, but, let's build on that, expand on that, thinking the same thing like what you're saying, let's have a cohesive idea in mind so that we don't, so that there's thought behind it, it's not just willy-nilly. So, but yeah, that training we are gonna be hosting at the center, but the Economic Development Department is kind of conducting it, and then TERS is providing lunch for them, but it's really exciting to see those follow.
Yeah, especially if they have this skill set now. I'm just thinking, hey, pass it on to the next gen,
That's,
or those that are currently looking to up their skill level, right?
right.
If there's a way we can leverage that through this project,
Mhm.
then that's not only does the art live on there, but it lives through the artists that learn that new skill.
Right, and I think the other part that I did hear from, some of the artists that participated in the project was, it would have been really nice to be able to tell our own story. And I think we're at a place, I think we all agree, we're at a place where we can tell our own story, and we just need to to take advantage of these opportunities when people come in, so that we're not dependent upon anyone else, you know, like that, you know, and I know I'm preaching to the choir.
No, but it's important to get this in the minutes, and also I think, to just, because this makes me think what you just said, it makes me think of what is in the master plan, to hire someone to run or manage the public arts project. And I think that's something that we also need to push city council on, like, when is that gonna happen?
Yeah.
Like, we need
It's
to bring
gonna
it
be
up.
brought up for the next budget, but
It is gonna be included.
I hope so, I hope
We can go
Make that-
advocate for it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
that's
that would
where I
be,
feel
that'd be
like-
a great idea because budget workshops are probably going to start next month.
Yeah.
So
We should. And you know, Maritza and I had a share one of our casual lunches where we talked about developing a group like this so that we could take, you know, have the voice of what's being, of the story that's gonna be told around in art. So I'm happy this is all happening, and it's all good, it's all good, it just takes.
time. It does, it
takes time.
does.
No, we're getting there. I mean, I'm proud of what I've seen happening, so.
So should
Okay,
we?
well, I'm gonna take that discussion as the discussion of the Tears mural project that was on the agenda, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, good, all right. Then moving along, I think the last item we have is the status of the appointees to the commission that was also on the agenda as a staff report, correct? Yeah, that's the last item on the agenda, next adjournment.
Yes.
So perspective, there was an update on the Fine Arts Commission appointees that I think some of us heard before we are just talking casually, but you want to, so that we can have it on the minutes.
Go ahead.
Can somebody give us an update on where the appointments are and, or if there are appointments, whether they have been confirmed?
Yes,
Or are
Mr.
in the process of being confirmed?
Yeah, Mr. Lopez, I was trying to get a city secretary to give me a status on the appointments. They were trying to get a hold of Mr. Colin Campbell to take his oath, but he hasn't been able to be reached. They haven't been able to reach. So that's still pending. He's not appointed, I mean, he hasn't taken his oath yet, so we're pending on that one. And the other two, I guess, Jorge Santana
Oh,
and
Carlos. Carlos was it?
Carlos Rodriguez is still pending to be appointed by city council.
Okay, it hasn't been, because when I spoke to Mr. Rangel, he said, I'm gonna present it this coming Monday. I don't know if he did or not.
No,
No,
the
I didn't
agenda's
know.
out and it's not there yet.
Okay, I'll call him and
Yeah,
remind him.
this
of-
is District Two.
Yeah, but on Mr. Santana,
We're still pending.
we're still pending, but I'm gonna try and get a hold of, as soon as I get the information,
Um,
I will get a hold of the mayor and see if we can get them all in at the same time.
that-
Maybe the next meeting in August.
So, yeah, we're still pending three to come aboard.
Okay. So the only item left is the motion to adjourn. Do I hear a motion to
I
adjourn?
move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Bye.
Aye.
Okay, see you next month.